Hello, agus Fàilte. Welcome, David. Thanks very much for taking the time with us today. Can you just give us a brief introduction on yourself, your background, and your football history as well?
Yeah, no, of course, Donny, and thanks for having me today. So, I'm David Baird, and football's very much my passion in life. From when I was younger, obviously, playing with friends and family, and going to watch games and watching football on the TV. I've loved it for as long as I can remember, and that passion's continued into my adult life when I've been coaching. I've actually been coaching for 15 years now, from volunteering to going to university and doing my sports coaching and sports development degree. When I came out of university, I got a bit of experience. A big part of the reason why I love football is the opportunities it gives you. I was able to travel. Went to work in the Middle East for a year, coaching over there, learning a whole new side of coaching, different cultures, different backgrounds, networking with different coaches. And then after that, I went over to America to coach for 5 years as well. I think it was towards the end of 2015, I moved back to Scotland and started coaching in Edinburgh. So since I've been in Edinburgh, I've been working with the Heart of Midlothian, taking teams within their academy, Heart of Midlothian Football Club, and I've also been doing some coaching with the Scottish FA. I work with the Scottish FA, kind of knocking down barriers and trying to grow the girls and women's game in the South East region, and also do some coach education with the Scottish FA as well. So yeah, I've just been football daft for as long as I can remember, to be honest.
Excellent. That's a very extensive and varied journey so far, and it's great to hear that you were out in the Middle East and embracing different cultures and using football out there as well. It's a big part of what we look to do at FC Sonas with our own culture and language as well. Just as a wee side note, you've got to tell us what football team is that you support.
Yeah, I support St Mirren. So I'm originally from Paisley, so I've been supporting them for as long as I can remember as well. Going to games with my brothers and my mum and my dad. So yeah, we're all big St Mirren fans.
Well, we can forgive you for that then. So David, today's discussion, we're looking at activity for all and looking at a games-based approach. And at FC Sonas, that's a big part of what we want to do. We want to try and encourage as many young people to play football, to engage with the sport. And to do that, I think we've got a duty to support our facilitators out there. And by facilitators, I mean teachers and our support staff, coaches, and people generally working with our young people. So can you tell us a bit about what you do and the program you've devised to help achieve activity for all through a games-based approach?
Yeah, of course, yeah. And, we touched on it during the introduction that, I've been coaching for a long time now. I'm a massive fan of being a games-based approach. I'm a facilitator myself. That's what I consider myself to be, as a facilitator of football. And, all the walks of life that you've mentioned there, from teachers, parents, carers, volunteers, grassroots coaches, whoever it may be, the facilitators are the absolute lifeblood of the game. The street and the playground, that used to be the facilitator of football, but now that there's not so much street football, we need to build that into our PE classes, or after schools programs, or coaching sessions, or team sessions. Facilitating football brings so many benefits to young people and young children's lives. And as I say, I'm a facilitator of football. And what I've been doing is I've been doing a games-based approach for a number of years now. I think it's very hard to replicate something else that brings all the benefits of a games-based approach, no matter how long you've been coaching for. I've mentioned within my introduction, I've been coaching for 15 years, and I'm an A licensed candidate, and I've worked with pro players, etc. But it's very hard to incorporate or design something that has all the benefits of letting people play the game. They'll be defending, attacking, dribbling, shooting. So today I'm really appreciate the opportunity to share the approach I take in regards to a games-based approach, letting them play a game. But in my experience, there's ways that we can manipulate that environment a little bit deeper to make that game as enjoyable, as fun, as engaging, as beneficial as possible. So I'm going to present today on something called Scoreboard Soccer. Now, I never had a name for this up until recently. This is just a wee method I've been using for quite a while now. But as your listeners will know, the world went a little bit crazy in March 2020, and we were all locked in the house and not being able to go out and do what I love, coach football and facilitate football. I decided to start to share this idea and give it a fancy name and put it together in a presentation. And the feedback's been great, as you know yourself, Donny. So I'm hoping that those that are listening can also have a little look at Scoreboard Soccer and maybe utilize that with the groups that they work with. So essentially what Scoreboard Soccer is I'm facilitating football that tries to tick, the main outcomes, the things that I think are really important when young people are taking part in sport. And first and foremost, I think Scoreboard Soccer is really good fun. And obviously I'll show you some of this content soon. I think it gives you an opportunity to engage with the person behind the player, because they're people before they're players. So great opportunity to build relationships, have fun, have a joke, be sociable, get to know what team they support and their hobbies, etc. And then within that environment as well, as I'm about to show you, they will develop as players, which I've already touched on. It's very hard to replicate something that's as beneficial as playing football. Loads of great players from years gone by, essentially they developed through playing street football. So the next box here, just on behaviours within a games-based approach. When you play games of football, they have all these behaviours that I've also spoke about. Kids can hone their skills around passing, dribbling, creativity, resilience, teamwork, and that list can obviously be quite exhaustive in regards to all the behaviours that they'll display when they're playing football. And this is probably the extra layer that Scoreboard Soccer adds to, as opposed to just playing games of football. So Scoreboard Soccer is a little bit different to just playing 3v3 or 4v4 or 5v5, which of course is still a massive place for. I would encourage the facilitators that are listening to find a balance of sometimes we just play games and maybe sometimes we try this Scoreboard Soccer approach that's worked to benefit, in my experience, that the players have really enjoyed this. So the barriers we're trying to knock down through Scoreboard Soccer is, keeping kids engaged. So for example, if we weren't doing Scoreboard Soccer and we were just playing games of football, there might be some players that maybe don't get a touch of the ball, or they're a bit apprehensive about getting involved because they're not too sure about their skill or ability level. It tries to knock down that engagement. It tries to keep players motivated and concentrated, and it tries to cater for all different ability levels. So that's probably something for the listeners to kind of keep in their head as I'm about to show the content. You'll find loads of creative ways that you can challenge the players that are maybe a little bit more experienced or a little bit more talented, or maybe have just developed a little bit quicker. And it's really easy to cater for the players that maybe need some extra support within your games-based environment. So if we just kind of move on now to what Scoreboard Soccer is, and really simply, it is a games-based approach. We're playing games of football, but we add what we call a scoreboard to that environment. We add this kind of motivational activity that runs next to the game to keep players engaged. So I've got a short video on one of the first Scoreboard Soccer games that I designed, and it's really simple. When a player scores a goal, they come and put a ball on top of a cone. It's obviously reds against yellows here. And it's the first team to get 4 footballs on their cone wins. Now, it seems really straightforward and really simple, but the engagement you get from players working really hard because they want to put the ball on the cone, they like that visual representation that they've done something well. And obviously, by nature, kids and people involved in football are competitive, so they want to win the game. And we already touched on mixed ability levels. So if you have a player who's a bit more talented that can just run by everybody and score, they're momentarily coming off the pitch because they're putting a ball on a cone. But also, we don't just want to praise our talented players. They can't be the only ones who get to come put a ball on a cone. So the presentation at the moment should be showing you that you can praise whatever you want. So if Sarah tries to dribble past someone, you might say, Sarah, well done for trying that. Come and put a ball on the cone. If someone tries to pass the ball to a teammate and you want to encourage more passing, you might say, Donnie, come and put a ball on a cone. If someone's just working really hard, I've used Scoreboard Soccer for younger boys and girls who don't really get involved in the games, but now they're getting involved in the game because they know I'm going to praise that, if that kind of makes sense. And obviously happy to share all these games with your facilitators and your listeners, Donnie. This is a fun progression that the players love, is they can either kick the ball off the cone or they can put a ball on the cone. So the game generates a lot of excitement, a lot of competition, particularly when you're in the red team and you can see the yellow team only need one more point. You're working really hard to be that player who gets asked to go and kick a ball off the cone. So that's essentially what Scoreboard Soccer is, and I can go on and show you more games and have a deeper discussion. I'm not sure if there's any questions at this point, Donnie.
Yeah, no, I think that's excellent, David. That really paints a picture of what Scoreboard Soccer is. I think you and I were discussing just the other day about a club that undertook the Scoreboard Soccer sort of curriculum and integrate it into their sessions. And I think some of the feedback, you wanted to tell our listeners a wee bit about the feedback that you received for that?
Yeah, I've had a lot of really nice feedback, but I think one of my favourite so far was what Donnie's describing. It was actually with player feedback. One of the players fed back that the score was 3-3 on this particular game that I've just shown you there. And when one of the players scored a goal, instead of putting a ball on their team's cone to win the game, they kicked one off the other team's cone to prolong the game. And the coach asked, why did you do that? And they fed back, well, we wanted the game to keep going. So that was great feedback as the designer and the creator of Scoreboard Soccer, that the young players are actually having so much fun within the environment that they're avoiding winning the game to prolong the activity, which was really, really nice feedback.
Excellent. It's a wonderful concept, one that we've spoken about in depth quite a lot, and I've used within my own sessions and with FC Sonas as well. It's part of the session plan and the curriculum that we do within our holiday camps, and the one we ran in last October. I think I mentioned to you when we did that, we did a scoreboard soccer game, and the players just loved it, and they were desperate for it to keep on going. It was not just engaging the best players, but it was engaging players that typically weren't interested, or players that maybe weren't of the same ability as some of the other players. David, just to move it on slightly, a lot of our listeners that will be engaging with these sort of webinars and these this series are teachers from various backgrounds that sometimes don't have the equipment or the resources or a particular understanding of how best to implement scoreboard soccer within their environment. And I think quite a lot of teachers and staff and our facilitators might feel a wee bit apprehensive about using football as a tool to engage our young people. But can you tell us, first of all, what the benefits are and how you can best break down the barriers that we've just sort of spoken about there?
Yeah, I think that's a big part of the initial design of Scoreboard Soccer, and the main target audience for Scoreboard Soccer program, and I think why we link in so well, Donnie, is for exactly what you're describing there. It was first used with volunteers, younger, newer coaches, people that maybe didn't have a passion or a background in football, because it takes away the apprehension of having to design something, or the apprehension of, okay, we'll just play a game, but then if the kids are disengaged or it's the same player that's always getting a touch of the ball. It is designed to help just this. And yeah, it's a very simple setup. Essentially, you want to get two teams. Obviously, the demonstration I showed you there was 4 teams, but it doesn't have to be. You want to get 2 teams playing football. So all you need is a group of kids and a ball. If you have goals, great. If not, jumpers for goalposts are fine. And you're saying to them, right, we're playing a game, but if you do something really well or you work really hard, we'll reward you with this scoreboard. And you mentioned equipment there. I'm using a load of footballs and a load of cones there. One of the scoreboards we have is a kind of water bottle flip challenge. This thing that kids kind of love to do, where they flip a plastic water bottle, and if it lands the right way up, they go crazy. That's one of the scoreboards that I've used with volunteers that you're describing that didn't have a lot of equipment. Right, guys, so we're playing a game. What kind of things might a reward within the game? And the kids will answer the question with, we're passing and communication and encouraging each other. And I'm saying, right, great. If I see any of that, you come over to the side, and if you flip the water bottle, if it stands in the right way, that's a goal for your team. So if the game's 1-1, and I say, Donnie, that was a great pass, come to the side, and you flip it and it lands, that's now 2-1. Now, again, your teachers in particular will know that will really engage the kids because they love that, that water bottle challenge. And we've got ones that are similar that take very, very little setup. And then we have ones for your facilitators who, maybe are a little bit more creative and have, more ideas. For example, some of them involve the football themselves, whether that be, 5 keepy ups as a bonus point, pass the ball and try and, knock over a cone. The one that's coming up on the screen now, I'll hopefully just be able to play as I'm talking to you. It's a throw-in challenge. So the kids are playing a game. I appreciate my Wi-Fi not be great here, but hopefully you can see it to some extent. The kids are playing the game, and the rewarded player comes over and tries to take a throw in, and if it bounces in the box, that's an extra goal to their team. So for some of your facilitators who have no doubt will have a passion and knowledge of football, they can be using the scoreboard to teach throw-ins or crossbar challenge or beat the goalie. There can be a little bit of coaching at the scoreboard as well. But I think the main thing that I would want your listeners to take away is just the idea, because I can say from 5 or 6 years experience of delivering this, and you've touched on how you've tried it, and we've touched on some of the feedback from those that are currently trying it. It does engage the players, and they do work hard, and they do enjoy it. So we're here today to talk about a games-based approach, facilitate football, set up some teams, let them play. But then if you are apprehensive about engagement, behaviour, effort, you just maybe throw in this scoreboard idea. And it's, as I say, it's just that idea that your listeners need to take away, because I can guarantee those that are listening will come up with much better scoreboards than the templates that I'm happy to share. But then you can go and you can make the game, completely your own.
Excellent. I really, really love that, David. I think one of the biggest things for me, that what I love about Scoreboard Soccer, is you mentioned there about praising and rewarding positive behaviour, which a lot of schools and a lot of our teachers, they're heavily focused on values within the school and making sure that they are they're promoted within the pupils. And I think these sort of games are just amazing to really bring that out in the young people, because they've got an incentive to go and show fair play. And the thing is, it's endless, the opportunities that you can reward. It can be a good pass, or it can be showing fair play, or just being kind. And it's a great way for schools and teachers to really be creative with it and engage with it too.
Yeah, that's such a key part of it. As some curriculums out there, they are very generic. It's 12 players all working on passing the ball, but this is very individualized. The teachers will know with their 10 pupils, they'll know the ones that need a little bit of confidence and a little bit of more praise, and they'll know the ones that the games-based approach within themselves. That's what engages those ones and those young people. And yeah, I've presented this, as Donnie, I've presented this to other coaches and clubs, and sometimes what they really like about it is they actually have values that underpin their community club, and those are the things that they're praising more often than not, because they want to instill those values. As you say, it might be sportsmanship, teamwork, communication, resilience, leadership, honesty, all these transferable skills. Yeah, absolutely. And I think engaging the young people in it is crucial as well. So if I just kind of come to my last slide within the presentation, if your listeners are going to utilize some Scoreboard Soccer, first and foremost, it's really good fun, and that's kind of the value that underpins why I coach. I think as long as people are having fun, you've kind of ticked the main box. But then also, if you can develop the person a little bit, which I think we've just touched on there, and teach them those transferable skills within the environment. But of course, we can develop the player, because they're still benefiting from a game-based approach. You're facilitating something that has, constant defending, passing, dribbling, shooting, engagement, work rate, effort. I think it's really crucial as well. One of the benefits of Scoreboard Soccer is, we can praise the process. It's not always about the player being able to tackle to win the ball. If the player runs back 20 or 30 yards to make a tackle but misses the tackle, you can still say, I love that effort, come to the scoreboard. And if our young people appreciate the effort is what we value, effort's what they're going to keep giving us, and the outcomes are going to improve. And that's a big part of Scoreboard Soccer. It's also changing this this idea of what the scoreboard is. It's not about winning and losing. It's about whatever team displays the most effort and the most honesty. Whatever you praise, they're the ones that are going to win the game, because that's the kind of bigger picture when it comes to developing people. And my last slide, Donnie, if I can just go on to it, is just a note to your teachers and your facilitators. I'll share some of my scoreboard ideas. They'll come up with some of their own scoreboard ideas. Some of the best ones that I've seen I've certainly I've came up from the young people and the children themselves. So when I say to them, does anyone have any scoreboard ideas? And the kids are saying, well, we could play snakes and ladders. And I'm saying, what do you mean? And they're saying, well, we could all have a piece on the board. And when we come to the scoreboard, we roll the dice and, we move up. And, they're really engaged in the session, because that's what they wanted to do. They've told me that's what they want to do. And it's, sheer joy when they hit a ladder, and sheer absolute heartbreak when they hit a snake. It's really good fun. The other ones that one of the kids came up with was the egg and spoon race. So they come off the pitch, and if they dribble around a cone with an egg on the spoon without dropping it, that's a bonus point to their team. So again, I could share more of these, but I'm sure your listeners get the idea that Scoreboard Soccer, essentially small-sided games of football, or facilitating a game of football, with an extra kind of motivational tool to keep the players engaged.
Yeah, that's absolutely excellent. I think you've touched on a few of the games there. I think one of the favourite ones that we've spoken about in the past was Buckaroo, wasn't it? Where one of the players had to put the piece on the...
Yeah, that was one of our mutual friends. Again, coaches taking the idea and running with it and coming up with better ideas than I ever could. One of our mutual friends, JJ, who loved the idea that we're giving him a little shout out. He told me he'd done... he told me he'd done Buckaroo. So he had the reds against the yellows, and he had a load of red and yellow bibs at his feet, and he would kind of stand some weird shape on one leg. And when the player scored or got praised, they came over and they picked up their team's coloured bib and threw it over JJ. So he ends up standing there with 10, 15, 20 bibs on him, and when he couldn't keep his balance anymore, he shouts Buckaroo and he throws them all off. And the kids quickly run over and count who had the most bibs on them before they got to that stage. And I was just thinking, I would love that myself as a 9, 10, 11-year-old, just really good fun, really engaging.
The really interesting thing about Scoreboard Soccer, and you and I have talked about this, and it's something we'll work on in the near future, is there's such a good opportunity for us to work together with Scoreboard Soccer when we're trying to encourage language and we're trying to encourage our young people to... Obviously, the FC Sonas' focus is Scottish Gaelic and encouraging young people to embrace it, speak it, and normalise. And Scoreboard Soccer is a great way to do that. And we've had conversations in the past about you can do hangman in Gaelic. You could do so many different games that incorporate language as well. And the opportunities are endless.
Yeah, and it's probably a conversation that will grow arms and legs as we talk about it. But my mind's already racing on. It might be a young player comes to the side and you give them a printout of a word, and if they say it correctly, it's a bonus point, and if they don't, it's a wee bit of feedback so they say it correctly next time. And those words might actually be words that you would say within the game: pass, dribble, shoot, whatever it may be. And when you hear them use those languages within the game, it might be an extra reward. I love that you're using the language. Come to the side for a shot at the crossbar challenge or whatever it might be. Yeah, there's loads of ways. We are trying to draw a parallel from some of the current scoreboard games, which are on kind of numbers and colours and letters and things like that, and trying to do it for language. So yeah, absolutely, we will be working quite closely, I think, over the next couple of months.
Absolutely, and that's obviously the resource you've got already, and the one that we'll look to build and create is available for teachers, and you and I both, and Callum Ferguson, my colleague as well. We're all here to support and work together. And I think that the positives to using activity, we'll take it back to the topic, which is activity for all, and the opportunities and benefits that bring to a classroom setting where kids are itching to get moving and engage with activity, but still having that educational element to it, as well as rewarding and praising effort and the values that we look to implement.
Yeah, absolutely. And it might be another one that you're asking the kids to come up with a scoreboard of how we incorporate the language into it as well, and they'll have their own ideas. And I just always find, to be fair, without sounding too big-headed or whatever, all the scoreboard games are pretty good fun. They do engage in all of them, but the ones that they design and the ones that they ask for and the ones that they want to do, by nature, they work really hard because they came to practice to do this one. It's the one they've been desperate to do. So yeah, there might be something there where we actually get the kids to try and design some of these new games.
Definitely. I think you and I we've spoken a lot over the years that we've worked together, and a big part of what I like to achieve as a coach is I want players to be leaving the sessions that we put on, or leaving the classroom, or leaving the school setting, or leaving the playground to say, I want to go back, I want to do that again. And those words are just it's just music to our ears, isn't it? And have you got any examples? And I know I've got a few. Have you got any examples of experiencing that within the scoreboard settings, scoreboard soccer setting?
Yeah, loads. And we touched on a little bit of the player feedback that I had earlier of we didn't want to leave, we wanted the game to keep going. And parents and guardians are telling me that their kids are jumping in the car and saying that they won snakes and ladders at football training tonight, and the parent doesn't really know what they mean, but the fact that their son or daughter's got a big smile and buzzing to go back next week, that's what it's all about. And and they're challenging as well. Some of the scoreboards can be a real challenge, and you might not get the bonus point every single time if it's a crossbar, to be fair, but you might be over there 3 or 4 times, and then the 4th or the 5th time you get it. And it's that when you work hard enough for something, it means a lot more, doesn't it? So yeah, loads of examples of that. The kids just really, really enjoying and really, really engaging it. And as I say, they jump into the car after football training and they say, I hit the crossbar, or I put the ball on the cone, or I found Nemo, the game we have where it's like Finding Nemo, all these real fun ones.
Absolutely. No, it's been really, really good to hear more about the Scoreboard Soccer. And like we said, that our role at FC Sonas with the listeners we have, the teachers, the facilitators, the additional support staff, the people we're looking to engage with and work with in the Gaelic world, we're here and David and I work closely together. So for Scoreboard Soccer, David will be looking to add games to it. So if you've got any games, got any ideas, certainly David would love to hear them, and he's on social media, and we are as well, FC Sonas. So if you do ever give them a try, make sure you record them and send them to us all. That would be great. So David, thanks very much for that presentation on Scoreboard Soccer. It's really helpful. And like we say, you won't be too far away if teachers have got questions, and at FC Sonas as well. That's a big part of what we'll look to do to try and support and engage as many people in those sort of games, and making sure we're providing the best educational activity tools for our young people. But before you go, it wouldn't be right if I was just to let you go without learning a bit of Gaelic. So what's going to happen is I'm going to put a word on the screen. You're going to try and pronounce it. And then if you want to have a stab at guessing what it is in Gaelic, or is in English rather, then you can do that. Okay, so the first word is this one.
So I'm not sure if you've already gave me the answer there. It says ball. Is that what this one means?
It's a good start.
Okay, so is that one word then with a hyphen in the middle?
Yes.
All right. So I don't know, ball cois.
You're close. So it's balcosh.
Oh, closer than I thought I would get. Right, no, okay.
You can have another stab at it, just so we're getting that pronunciation. We're working hard at that.
Ball cois.
I will give it to you. We'll a wee bit of work on the pronunciation, which is what we call it, the blast. But we'll work on that. Have you got any guesses as to what that means?
Okay, does it just mean football?
Absolutely does. That's
okay.
You on the ladder to become fluent already. And the next one we'll put it up is this.
Jeez,
and there's a few accents on there that can sometimes throw you off, but give it your best go.
Okay, Clar Scora.
It's decent. It's Clar Scorry. So that's
Oof.
Tell you what, 2 words already. You want to give a stab at what this word means?
Oh, I'm just going to, because we're on the theme of football, just say, does it mean something like teamwork?
It doesn't. You want another guess? Because I think you got to think a wee bit closer to home.
Scotland?
No. We'll give you the answer. It means scoreboard.
Oh, yeah, I see what you've done here. Good stuff.
Into the theme of Scoreboard Soccer. So, altogether, Scoreboard Soccer is Clar Scorry Balcosh.
Clar Scorry Balcosh.
That's decent. So, we'll work on that, and over time, we'll keep chipping away at that. And when we've got the Scoreboard Soccer resource translated into Gaelic, you'll be front and centre, making sure your Gaelic proficiency's moving on.
That's good. I've learned something today. Brilliant.
So David, thanks very much for taking the time to speak to us today. It's really much appreciated. You've gone through the Scoreboard Soccer. We've learned a wee bit of Gaelic along the way. I'm really excited about working together in the future as well, about what we can do with Scoreboard Soccer, yourselves, FC Sonas, and engaging with as many of the Gaelic schools, clubs, and the individuals within that as well.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me, Donnie, and I hope this opens up a kind of line of communication between, I know FC Sonas and Scoreboard Soccer are already working quite closely, but honestly, any listeners, anyone in school, anyone that wants a bit more information or to get in touch, then, happy to support in any way we can.
Perfect. Thanks, David. Cheery and the rest.